What's up, YouTube? So, the big thing in the news right now, of course, is the coronavirus and the economic downturn associated with the coronavirus. So I'm just going to be talking about kind of my thoughts on that today. I don't think, first of all, that the coronavirus is the big one. I don't think it's going to be, we're going to have the big SHTF situation right now. But if anything else, like maybe this could be more like a drill. And who knows, things might get kind of bad. I don't know. There's numbers out that show the coronavirus is between like 2 and 3% lethal. So worse than the flu, but not as bad as something like the Spanish flu. But it also, do you trust those numbers? Most of those numbers are coming out of China and the WHO, which you can watch some videos. China Uncensored does a good one talking about how China and the WHO are working together and probably faking the numbers. But regardless, this type of coronavirus, coronavirus itself, there's all different types. It's a common virus. And it's usually not that big a deal. It's basically a type of the common cold. Now, of course, this one is more lethal, and it's spreading like crazy. But I think as far as a disease, unless you have maybe some sort of autoimmune disease, or you're kind of feeble or old or something, or maybe like a young kid, you might be in trouble. But the bulk of us, roughly 97 to 98% of us, should be fine. But on the other hand, it is causing kind of a panic, and obviously there's been an economic downturn. Like if you look at the stock market, it's just plummeting to levels that, we're going back to where we were 6 months ago, which is a huge drop just in a few days. And it seems to still be continuing to plummet. So people are losing a lot of money over this. And, that could have a ripple effect in the economy and cause maybe even like a recession. And like, who knows where that could lead. So really for me, I'm more concerned about the economic collapse that could be associated with this, or at least the economic downturn that could lead to something like an economic collapse. If you've seen in like Italy and stuff where the virus has been spreading within the community, it's not quite reached that level in the US yet. But in Italy, the shelves are, pretty much barren from a lot of the news footage I've seen. Which I don't know how much you can really trust Italy's news, but that's besides the point. The one thing right now that is concerning is we just don't really know a lot, and it's hard to know what information is reliable. So another thing about the virus, my dad's a doctor, and I had kind of asked him about it, like what he's thinking, and he's a prepper also, so I'm asking him, like what he's doing about it. And he's, got respirators and stuff, and he's kind of preparing for if this, does become a big deal, which I guess you could already say it's a big deal, but it hasn't really affected us much yet in the U.S. So he is taking that precaution, but ultimately, it being a coronavirus, he's not overly concerned. And typically these sorts of things, according to him, will kind of dissipate as the warmer weather comes. So hopefully that's the case. But he's pretty confident that the disease itself isn't something too many of us are going to have to worry about. But that being said, you're probably not going to be able to get respirators pretty soon. It's already getting hard to find them. So you might get some of those, and Germex, hand sanitizers, that sort of thing. And I think ultimately the thing that we should all do is, one, evaluate our preps and see where we're at. Prepare for, act as if this is going to be kind of a big deal. Because if nothing else, it helps you get more prepared for if something worse does come along down the line. And, if we're faced with a situation where there's like a break in the supply, where stores aren't having what they need on the shelves, that sort of thing, people aren't going to work, you want to go ahead and get topped off now. And I don't think we should be spending, thousands of dollars in a panic right now, trying to buy everything we need, hopefully you've already been prepping for a long time, and so you can be pretty confident in where you're at. That's kind of how I feel right now. I'm not panic buying, going getting a bunch of things, but I'm also, when I go to the store, I've been kind of topping off. So like I went and got groceries the other day. Stores here still fine. Plenty on the shelves. Picked up some extra rice and water and pasta, like those sort of things that you can get huge quantities of for very cheap. Because if nothing else, like I can store it for a long time. Maybe it'll be useful later. But also, if we're not really able to like leave our houses for a while or that sort of thing, I want to have as much as I need to last for a long time. So yeah, that's what I would recommend, is probably topping off. I went ahead and bought some extra ammo too. That's more just kind of replenishing what I've been shooting up lately, but also, who knows where that could go. If things get kind of scary and there's heightened tensions or whatnot, you might not be able to get it as easily. Probably not as big of a concern as the food and medical supplies, but just something I went ahead and did. Another thing I've noticed about this too is people seem to be on edge lately the last few days. Like I've noticed in the last couple of days, I've probably witnessed the most aggressive driving on like several occasions in my town that I've ever seen. Like on the way to work yesterday, there was a traffic jam and there was just people honking and flipping everyone off when no one could move at all. It's like we're all stuck here together, but some people were just freaking out, and I'm wondering if people are just kind of on edge because of what's going on right now. And then the same thing on the drive home from work last night. There's all these super aggressive cars around me, like swerving in and out. Big diesel trucks like blowing smoke back at the cars. People honking like just needlessly, and everyone is just going the speed limit or a little over the speed limit, and we're just hitting every light. But these guys are being real aggressive and weaving in and out and doing all that stuff, not in a manner that you usually see. And seeing those instances so close together makes you wonder, like, what's putting people on edge. So basically, yeah, I would just kind of treat this as maybe a test run, and I'd go ahead and top off on supplies and try to get the most accurate information you can. Keep watching news on the coronavirus and try to look at different sources and see what different sources are saying. Yeah, and I guess that's about it. So stay safe out there. Have a good day. Peace.